Hey guys, Sloppy Joe here. So today we're going to do a real quick video. We're going to go through installation of a couple of aftermarket parts from an outfit in Germany called Corvus Defensio. And we've got two things. We've got number one, their enhanced magazine release, which is this piece right here. This is an aluminum piece. And then we also have the brass case deflector, which I will show you after I do a quick install on this piece right here. So we're going to go through it real quick. I've already done a test run and put this together and videoed it, but for some reason the video was screwed up and I could not upload it to YouTube. So I'm going to try this again in a different quality. A little bit lower quality. I'm thinking maybe the 4K was the issue and I didn't notice that I filmed in 4K. And we will go from there and see what happens. So let's do this real quick. So all you're really going to need for this is a little bit of Loctite, blue, red, whatever you happen to have. Some kind of a through punch. I'm just going to use a small Allen, just a small hex key. You can use a flathead screwdriver or a drill. I'm going to use a drill with a flathead. And then you just need your parts. So it comes with the mag release as well as a small little steel pin. And I'll show you what this is for in a second. So first off, let's get the old magazine release out. So all you really need to do is loosen this screw in the stock and pull it out. At some point, you should be able to just yank it out. There it goes. Okay, so there's that. Set it aside. And now you're going to drop your old release. And then you may need to retrieve the spring. So here's the spring. You're going to reuse this. This is going to be set aside. So quick comparison. So as you can see, these little teeth on the bottom, let me put it up against the white. So you can see the teeth on the bottom, that's actually what is catching the back of your magazine. And you can see how much surface area there is to push. And you can see it's kind of got like a curve to it. And that's going to be compared to this, which is a lot wider. And also, it's got kind of a reverse curve to this guy here. So as you can see, there's a lot more surface to work with as far as manipulating the mag release. So if you prefer to use your thumb, your magazine, even the web of your hand works very well with this. So let's get this thing installed. So what you need to do, you're reusing your spring and you're going to drop it in just like so. Okay? Actually, no, I'm lying. That's backwards. Like so. So it's going to go like this. So if you're looking at it, you're going to drop it in like this. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that little steel pin and we're going to insert it through the mounting hole. So it's like that. All right? So then all we're going to do is we're going to just insert this into the release well, lining up this with our mounting hole, and all we're simply going to do is then push our screw or our bolt through. There's some lightning, sorry about that. Push this through and it's going to push this pin out the bottom side of the rifle. Oh, and there's the thunder. And my dog is under the table cuddling, rubbing up against my legs because he's freaked out. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to try to do this, hopefully, without that pin dropping out the backside. I think we're in good shape already. So right there, and then all we're going to do is push the set screw through, as long as I can keep it lined up. This is the part that's a little bit tricky, is just keeping everything lined up. But once it goes, it'll go, and you shouldn't really have any major issues. And you may need to tap this a little bit, just to kind of work it home. Like so. Yes. And there is our little steel pin. So now all we got to do is just get this worked in. There we go. And then on the bottom of the stock, you're going to have your little set nut that needs to be put in place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dab of blue Loctite in that set screw. Like so. And then I'm just going to set that inside the in there. I'm just going to hold it in place with my thumb, and then I'm going to tighten this down. Now, there's really no English instructions that come with this, so you want to set it to where it's snug but not so tight that it gets stuck. So that's too tight, because if I release it, it kind of hangs up a little bit. So all you got to do, back it off a little bit, maybe half a turn, and that's still a little snug. Go another quarter turn, and that is really good. I'm happy with that. So yeah, so that's all there is to it. Let's take a quick look and see how it all works. Oh, and before I go any further, I'll just show you, if you flip the rifle over, so here is the Corvus Defensio brass deflector. So it's an all aluminum piece, and the way this installs, and the only reason I can't show you because the little Torx bit tip I used to install it, I can't find at the moment, so I can't back it off. But all it does, if I get this to focus the way I want it to, so all this does is just drop into the ejection port. There's just a couple jaws on this end and on this end, just basically a couple hook jaws. They drop in, and then when you tighten down these little set screws on the back side, again, if I can get this to focus, come on, you can do it. I don't know why this is giving me so much trouble. Anyway, there we go. So as you can see there's two little set screws. They're little tiny Torx screws. I don't know, probably a T3, T4, something very tiny. The Germans love Torx screws. But all you do is just put a little Loctite on each of those and then tighten them down, and it'll just expand the brass deflector, and it'll grip. The little jaws will grip on the inside of the ejection port, and then it's held in place. So, sorry, I'm a little distracted. My dog is under the table having a fit because of the thunder and lightning, so he's distracting me because I can feel him. I can hear him panting, and he's rubbing up, laying against my leg, and he's cooking my leg because he's a little heat box. But that's all there is to that. So this is a very simple install. This takes all of about 30 seconds to put in. I would say there's zero skill needed to do that. This, on the other hand, it takes about 5 minutes, and it's just a lot of little parts you got to mess with. But really, it's very straightforward and easy. So let me set the camera in a different direction, and we'll play with this a little bit, and you can see how it works.